On this leg of my journey, I'm here to explore the three main community hubs for Estonians in the United Kingdom, the Estonian houses. My name is George Fletcher, and I'm a British actor. At the end of World War II, my grandparents fled from Estonia to the United Kingdom. And while I've always known about my Estonian heritage, I now want to know more. So, I'm on a mission to find the Estonian footprints here in the UK. I'm here in the beautiful Notting Hill, one of the most prestigious areas of London, which is home to the Estonian House in London. I'd love to know, what is an Estonian house?
There were refugees in the 50s who didn't have a place to go, and they felt they wanted to speak their language and get together, and they were thinking maybe we could all buy a house. And so that started quite early in the 50s, I think, and they finally got their act together and bought this house. And then people would say, okay, I know how to dance, I know how to sing, and then it went on from there.
When Estonia finally became independent again in 1991, what was happening here?
The embassy was here, and even after they bought their own embassy at Hyde Park, they used our house for receptions. We had the head of NATO come here, we had Lennart Meri come here.
I've had the most lovely afternoon here at the Estonian House in London. But I'm now off to where my grandparents' journey first started here in this country. I'm off to Bradford. Bradford is home to the British textile industry, and many World War II refugees from the Baltics were resettled to the area. I'd love to know, after the war, how did the Estonians move here?
In 1944, many Estonians fled and quite a number went to Sweden, but then a lot ended up in Germany in so-called displaced persons camps. And then after a couple of years, in 1946, 1947, there was an opportunity for them to come to the UK under the European Voluntary Workers Scheme to come and, help to rebuild Britain after the war.
And how did the club actually come about?
Well, when the Estonians moved to this area, in the late 1940s, around 1950 or so, they did begin to organise many Estonian events and get-togethers, and it began to become apparent that they actually needed a base of their own. This house was purchased in 1955, and the first official opening event took place on the 9th of June in 1956.
It was in 1947 when the Estonian choir, led by my grandfather, paved the way for the founding of the Estonian House in Leicester. I'm here at the Estonian House in Leicester to meet Eva Pirimägi, but to also catch up with my mum. Hi Emma, hi Mum, how are you?
Good.
So Mum, you were born in Leicester. What are your memories of the house?
The house here was like a second home to us. It was an incredibly important place for our family as a whole, and the excitement when it was bought for us as our community, as our cultural centre.
There was loads of different choirs and different groups of people like singing together. You would have a men's choir, you'd have women's choir, you've got youth choir, you've got mixed choir. There was also folk dancing. And then drama practices.
Because it was so important that they keep the country, the love, the culture, the music and everything going.
And what's the future now for the Estonian club here in Leicester?
It is so easy to just go to Estonia for a weekend and go and have your Estonian fix. Having said that, if there was no building, I think we would lose touch. Also, we would lose all these stories.
It's been amazing to visit these three hubs and to feel so proud that my family were part of the refugee community that helped to build a post-war Britain.